it's not insurmountable, and there's a lot of products out there and a lot of solutions out there that can be added together to build a really nice package around someone to really support them.
No, thank you so much. And last but definitely not least, I'm going to turn over to you, Jonathan. And I know that, people have been talking about so many things that are close to your heart. But one of the aspects that I just wanted to talk with you about is that we've sort of been talking about these technologies in a long-term sense, but technologies also can be another tool in our kit when we're thinking about working out what's going on. And I was just thinking about, an example that might be familiar in some form to some of the people in the audience is, for example, that we have someone who's shifted into their new unit, and during the day they have people coming in during the day to provide help, but they're on their own at night. And one evening, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a knock on the door of a neighbour, and it's our person who's just got confused how to get back to their unit. And the support that is around her go into this kind of panic stations, because it's like, is this the only time that she's done this, or is this the only time that we've known that she's been going out from the unit at night, that she's been getting lost? And this is something that, from your perspective, that technology can be a really useful thing in our kit to try to work out, rather than going straight into, oh my gosh, they need a higher level of care, they're not safe. Do you want to kind of talk us through some of that potential?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. Thanks for letting me be here today. It's been a brilliant session. So I was nearly crying when JB was talking before. It was amazing. So in the sense of there's lots of solutions out there in terms of being able to sort of potentially continuously monitor people and get a picture of how they're doing, what their well-being is like. I've been involved in a couple of developments of solutions in New Zealand with a company called Be Sure. I brought in technology from the UK in a system called Just Checking. I've
Oh, now you
also
might.
got a
Could you
system
just say that last one again? We just had a wee bit of a glitch, at least on mine.
just checking.
Just checking.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I've even got I've even got a system in my mum's house linked to an app on my phone called Alcove. So, and she's in the UK, so I can actually see my mum moving around her house in real time, and get alerts if she's not gone to bed or not got up. Generally, it's because she's watching the football and fallen asleep on the TV in the lounge. So there's lots of sensors and solutions out there that can actually draw a picture of how somebody is living and coping independently, and provide information about, well, what's their nocturnal habits? Are they staying up late? Are they getting confused? And give you a real rich picture of how somebody is, so that you can make an informed decision with them on trying to help them stay at home as long as possible, but managing some of those risks with real data. Those kind of solutions are emerging in New Zealand. There will be more and more of them as we move forwards. So and with things like AI as well in the background, to actually potentially do lots of the learning what is a normal routine and a normal habit, and it will just then generate alerts if things change in the house. So with Wana Limited, I provide a whole range of solutions, from the pill dispensers that Abby showed before, and I work for Nurse Maud, introduced those solutions, and supported about 400 people with pill dispensers in Christchurch. I also
And
do a whole range of things. Sorry.
They can help, just to come back to that idea of the pill dispensers. They can help with reminders, but also by making sure that people don't take more than the one dose because it's not
Yeah.
available yet. Is that right?
Absolutely. So, and so if I just describe the optimum person for a pill dispenser, they generally love their pharmacist, they love their GP, and they just want to take their medication. But they sometimes forget that they have taken their medication. So at Nurse Maud, we've had numbers of referrals to give them support because they've taken 4 or 5 doses of the same medication. So the pill dispensers that we supply alert them and remind them to take the right medication at the right time. And they're locked so that they can't access more medication. The pill dispensers that we've done them for about the last 12 years. They're brilliant at supporting people to self-manage their medication, to provide them with independence. Yeah, and give them that positive that they are still doing things for themselves. We generally offer them at the point of entry into Nurse Maud, so that they've got an option. It's about providing people with choices and guiding them, supporting them to make those choices, but it's still down to them whether they want to use the pill dispenser or not. You can't make somebody use a pill dispenser. They have to see the benefit for them. It has to be their choice and their control.
Yeah, fantastic. And if we were thinking about that scenario of, concern about someone leaving, what kind of talk us through some of the things that are available in terms of that kind of environmental sensing that can, and in that kind of example, is that something we can just turn on at night so that the person doesn't need to feel that they're being monitored all day, but we can turn it on and off so that
Yeah,
it's the time that we're concerned about, we can just have a faster response, for example.
yeah. You can have it so systems are set up so that they are just alerting between certain hours. So there are systems that Abby and ChipTech do that you can configure so that you get an alert between, say, 8 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock in the morning. Depending, again, it's configurable for the individual and the risks. So if they are getting likely to, or there's a risk that they might go to bed and wake up an hour later and think that it's still daylight and they've just got confused with the day and night and go out. Yeah, it's just about trying to configure it for that person.
Yeah, and one of the things that some of us may have heard of is the ability to have familiar voices brought into the equation.
So yeah, I do a memory reminder that you can actually program in your grandchild's voice to do the reminding within it, if you choose. So a device called the Carey Base from Abelia in Sweden, and that's a brilliant device for being able to provide people with a bit of a backup memory, help them with the routines, and you can record familiar voices within that, and just have simple pictures to prompt people to drink water or to take the medication or to remind them to do certain activities. You can even remote into it and put appointments into it. So just helping them with remembering to do things.
Yep, and there's a comment from Carolyn about I guess that idea of working out privacy versus information.
I think it's really important to have the conversation with people. Okay, I didn't put loads of sensors in my mum's house without talking with her and having an open discussion with her. And JB's point around fluidity, things change, situations happen. My mum would not have a medical alarm in her house. She would not have any monitoring in any way. It took her to have a fall, end up on the floor, end up in hospital, and us to support her back home and to reinforce that that's what we wanted for her, because that's what she wanted. And following that, we were able to have a proactive discussion around things. She now wears an alarm around her neck and tells everybody to tell Jonathan that she's wearing her alarm. But it took that significant event to occur, and me to fly in from New Zealand to help her. So it's fluid. Have the discussions, and you're just trying to balance out maybe some privacy issues, but you're just trying to reassure family that somebody is okay. I don't look at my mum's sensors all day and all night, and there's no cameras. They just pick up movement. So it's reassuring for me, and I can do sort of caring from the other side of the world, proper remote caring.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I love the way that we kind of end up with, both our topics with such person-centered big messaging. That it's about what the person wants and needs and what supports them as an individual, and having them involved in the conversations, whether it's designing the technology, putting in the technology, choosing what's most important. So I love that, everyone has just been so absolutely about the person at the center. And I want to just say a huge thank you to everybody who has shared their stories and their passions and their amazing innovations with us today. It is just mind-blowing, and I could just the amount and depth of wonderful people we have working this area. So thank you all so much, and I know there's lots of really appreciative comments in the comments. So I have just a couple of housekeeping things to finish up. And one of those is that for some of our people who are regulars, you may have been involved in the session where we talked about the refresh of the Dementia Action Plan. And to give you a little bit of an update, that the revised action plan will be coming out the week of the 3rd and 4th of August, and that we will be sending that out to you for the opportunity to give some feedback on that. And the other is that you may know that there's a Ministry of Health evaluation of what we're doing in terms of the Dementia Network and the Dementia Leadership and Advisory Group, and that we have an online form open at the moment. Please give us feedback. Answer as few or as many questions as you like, even if it's to tell us what you'd like us to do next year for the network meetings. We'd love all your thoughts and feedback. So please do feel free to do that. And I believe that we've managed to finish at 12:01, which, given the huge amount of content we've had today, is just an absolute achievement to all our speakers. So thank you to our speakers again, and thank you to everyone who's made the time to be with us today. And we'll be back to you with all those links and ideas that have been coming up so that you can check in with them. So, ka kite anō, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks, Susan, for organising that. It was awesome. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.